What's going on, gamers? NaMeLeSS here, and today we're going to be doing a review on Assassin's Creed Unity. But before we jump into the review, I just wanted to say I haven't played any of the past Assassin's Creeds except for the first one, so I'm not going to be able to compare this game to any of the past games, especially the first one, just because it's been so long since I played it. I mean, the first one came out, what, 8 plus, maybe give or take a couple of years, so let's just jump into the review on Assassin's Creed Unity. First of all, I love the storyline. It was to my liking, but I can see how other players might not like it. The biggest thing that I did love about the storyline was how they actually had historical people in the game and historical events in the game. Now, me being a big historical buff, that was a big plus. Now, the cutscenes were decent. Now, for a next generation game, I would have hoped that the cutscenes would have been a little bit more than what they presented, especially with the improvements with the CGI. They could have made it a little bit more realistic, but they were still decent. Another thing I thought was cool was being able to connect with 4 of my friends or random players, and how easy it was to connect with them. Basically, if you just wanted to connect with random players, all you had to do was search out a co-op mission, being a 2 to a 4 player co-op mission, and select it, and then the servers would search out other players that were looking to play the exact same mission you were, and just pair you up regardless of level or gear level, and you guys would just play that mission. And if you wanted to play with friends, all you basically had to do was just invite your friends into a party, and instead of just playing missions, you guys could just explore the map, take out criminals or whatever it was, if you're searching out artifacts or anything like that, or you guys could do co-op missions. Now, like I've said from the beginning with any game, what I love the most is customization, and this game puts customization into it, and I love it when you can make your player your own. You can customize everything down from your weapons to the boots and legs that you wear to the hood. All that I love. I just wish that there was just a little bit more that they can give you. I love the double kills, jumping off of a building and taking out 2 guys, and all the different variety ways that you can take out 2 guys at the same time. One of my favorite parts of double kills, now technically this isn't a double kill, but when one of your friends and you attack 2 other dudes at the same time and take them both out. Now, I know that's not a double kill, but to me that is. I love the housing that they put into this game with the theater and the cafes and all the things that came with that, where you had your own little bedroom where you can check your stats, you can check what club you're in and their stats, you can check your trophy room, they had a training room, and that you can even get money from the theater. Now, how you get more money from the theater is that you have theater missions that you have to complete, and there's 5 of them, and the more missions that you complete, the more money that you'll get over time out of this little chest that's in the theater. Now, with the cafe, they have social missions there, and so far with all the social missions that I have completed, it did not increase the cash flow that I got from the chest at the theater. I could be wrong. There could be missions that can do that. I still haven't found them yet, but I thought that was pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, with Assassin's Creed Unity, there is probably more things I didn't like with the game than what I did like. And to start it off, there was so many glitches in the game, from falling through the ground into what I like to call the void, where I had my buddy standing over me and I'm underneath the road and he's trying to save me, and I'm watching all these people walk over me, and you just have to just spin in circle until you die, and then you can finally rejoin your group. Another thing I didn't like was when you're doing a co-op mission, at times you can be attacked by an enemy that you can't see, but you can see your health bar going down, but other players can see you being attacked by that enemy, but you can't see him at all. I thought that was a little ridiculous. And at times when you try to use your Phantom or Berserker Blade and you hit the target perfectly, it doesn't do anything to him. I thought that was a little stupid. I mean, those things aren't cheap to replace, and it will show at times another player's name on a map when you're doing a co-op mission than the person that you're actually playing with. I thought that was a little weird. I didn't get that. And at other times when you're doing co-op, at times, not all the time, but sometimes, it would show one player on one side of the map when that player was actually next to you and not on the other side of the map. I didn't know what they were doing or how that could happen, but I thought that was a little stupid. And there's been a few times where me and my buddy or a couple of buddies would be doing a co-op mission, and we would be perfectly hidden in stealth mode behind a door or behind a wall or whatever, but still the enemies were able to see you, and then they would come at you with like 5 to 10 dudes, and you had the only two options of either taking them all head on or using a smoke bomb and running away and hoping that they didn't know where you went. I thought that was a little ridiculous, and hopefully they can get that fixed. And you know, in the very beginning, I thought when they said open world, that you would, when you would get onto the main map, that you would actually see assassins everywhere, jumping around buildings, killing random people or killing criminals or guards or whatever it was. But when you first get on the map, you're all by yourself. There's no one around you, and the only time you have any players on the map with you is if you have someone in your party or you're doing a co-op mission. Other than that, you're just all by yourself on this huge map to explore. That is not the definition of open world, people. Come on now. I thought the controls at times felt like they didn't respond as if you wanted them to. There's been a few times where I'm running across the top of buildings and I want to jump left onto a rope that goes across the street to the building I'm trying to get to, but instead he jumps right off the building and hits the road and dies. There's been a few times that's happened to me, and I don't understand maybe I was doing something wrong. I don't know. I doubt I was, but that needs to be addressed a little bit. I thought how quickly players are able to get high level gear was a little ridiculous. I mean, just hours after release, and me and my buddies got onto the map, and there was 4 of us that got into a group. Just in a few short hours, I'm going to say about 3 to 4 hours or so, we were able to do heist missions, high level heist missions, and we were getting like $65,000 per mission, and we were able to max out our gear just within 3 to 4 hours. And that alone scared me while we were doing it. I was just thinking to myself, this can't be for real, really. How fast you can get high level gear without grinding it out. There wasn't that many co-op missions that you would expect or hope for. There was just maybe 8 like 2-player co-op missions, and I think between 8 and 6 4-player heist co-op missions. I expected there to be a little bit more on release just because of how big the maps were. I thought they could have put a little bit more into it. I also thought it was kind of stupid how you couldn't do story mode in co-op. They could at least made the story mode a co-op thing if they weren't going to put as many co-op missions into the game. I thought that was a little stupid on their part, and there wasn't that much gear that you can collect, and a lot of it you have to unlock playing club competition mode, which you can't even play yet. They haven't even opened that up yet for people to play. So I don't know why they have all this gear on there, but you're limited to what you can get when it comes to the high level gear. I thought that was a little ridiculous. Now overall, I didn't love the game. I liked it. I'm going to give Assassin's Creed Unity a 6.5. I would give it about an 8.5 or a 9 if Ubi, a big name game company, could have gotten all the glitches under control before release. In my opinion, there is no excuse for this, especially from a company like Ubi. You don't spend so much time, money, and hype on a game to have so many rookie glitches on a game. Maybe it's time for a new development team. Maybe someone on the development team got fired after release. I don't know. Also, I could have sworn that they said this game was going to be open world, but the only time you see or play with other players is when you're in a party or doing co-ops. I was very disappointed in this, in the terms of the definition open world gaming. The story mode was okay, but the historical part of it I loved. My favorite part of the story mode was when you flash to the future, World War II, and you have to shoot down fighter planes from the top of the Eiffel Tower. I really love that part of the story mode. I thought that was probably the best part of the story mode. I like how after you finish the story mode, there's so many side missions to do to keep you busy until the release of the first DLC packages. There is just so much to cover on when it comes to side missions, with the Paris missions, the theater, the cafes, and everything else. This game will keep you busy and keep you occupied as long as you can just ignore or just deal with the glitches of the game. Alright gamers, this is enough for the review of Assassin's Creed Unity. I hope you enjoyed it. Please follow me on Twitter and leave comments and questions or whatever you want at the very bottom. Keep those controllers charged. Thank you.